Fantastic. Okay, so this week I want to start doing some things that are, again, administrative stuff is what I call it, and making sure that when we have some timeouts that we're following some procedures. Ironically enough, when I was in Vegas last weekend, championship officials are messing this up as well, according to the rules and how it should be shown from a spectator point of view. So I'm going to show you some things. There's going to be several parts, and we'll go forward. Hold on a second. Here we go. Okay, can you guys hear that? Guys?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. Thank you. Here we go. I mean, if there needs to be some dialogue, please let's go ahead and do it, because there might be here in these few videos. Okay, here's part 1 of blood time. We're going to go through the procedure of Green having blood time and me taking that wrestler to his coach. Green, blood. Red, you go over there. Green. I've just told everybody what's happening. I said that Green has blood time by pointing my finger to my nose with green armband. I'm sending Red to his corner. He's supposed to stay there. I'm sending Green to his coach so he can take care of him. I am positioned somewhere around the wrestler and the coach. The coach at this time is can talk to him, can do whatever he needs to do with him to take care of the blood time first. Sometimes they take too long. So once the blood is done, it's done. All right, coach, let's go. We're ready? Let's go. Back to the center. And we start. And that's it. Okay. So everybody see the distance I keep away from the coach and the wrestler. It's just to be able to maintain that distance, and you'll see it throughout the video. And that's kind of what you want to do. You want to be as far away as possible, but close enough to be able to know what's going on. All right. Otherwise, when somebody needs a rest, they'll be there for a while. They'll be cleaning that lip for a minute or so. Okay. Any questions? No? Okay, let's go to part 2. Here we go. Tell me if you don't see part 2. Part 2, blood time. We have a situation just like part 1. However, sometimes the opposing wrestler wants to kind of sneak in and hear what the heck is going on the other side. So I'll demonstrate for you what to do in those situations. We got green blood. Proper signals. Very good over there. Proper signals are being used. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Over there. Over there. Proper signals. I'm over here now. Coming over here and checking this guy out. Making sure blood is being taken care of. Hey, Red. Over there. Stay over there. I'm making sure the wrestlers are not together. Making sure that the coaches are not fighting and all that stuff, right? Making sure that this wrestler is okay. Hey, we're ready to go. All right, let's go. And we're back up for wrestling. So one of the comments I made below is that it may not be as obvious as you see. Sometimes the guy is just kind of warming up and just getting close to wherever the bleeding is taking place. It may not be as clear as this. Sometimes the bleeding is taken care of at the middle of the mat or something like that. And again, this is one official, okay? I will do some mechanics with 2 officials, but normally the second official will be with the non-injured or non-bleeding individual to make sure that that person or that wrestler is stationed in that corner. Okay. So we have a situation here where I'm going to call the guys out of bounds. It's not going to be a takedown. However, this coach, Ben,
is going to think that it's a takedown, and he wants to have a conversation with me. However, he does not want to risk a question call or coach's misconduct. So he's going to stay in his corner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore him. Why? Because I don't want to converse with him in that situation, because that's not where I'm supposed to go or have a conversation. My responsibility is to get wrestling started. No control, no control. Out of bounds. Let's go.
Whoa, what? That was two. That was he had control of the leg. That was two. That was two.
Okay. You see, I don't want to have a conversation with the coach. I know the rules, and he does too. He just knows he want to follow them. If he really has a question, he can go to the head table and ask me the question. At that point, I'll give you part two. But hold on. What did I do when I called the wrestlers back? I beat the wrestlers back, right? And I had my eyes on the wrestlers at all times. So make sure you don't do the opposite. Don't let the wrestlers just straggle back and just stay around. You hurry back so that it demonstrates that you're ready to go. They should be too.
Okay. So again, in Vegas, I saw another ref at the corner. The coach was irate. He wasn't going to the table, but the wrestler actually left the center. He's the only ref there. He left the center to go have a discussion with the coach in the corner. Bad mechanics. Remember, that's his area. You're going to his area. You're asking for trouble, right? Follow the procedures. They can yell all they want, and they can request everything they want from that corner. However, if you got rabbit ears and you're going to listen to everything and start conversing with them in that corner, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Can anybody tell me what I missed? That's right. Action neutral. Good job, my editor. All right, here we go. Everybody mute their phones, please. Thank you.
Hey, Angel, you might not do it full screen. It gets a little choppy, maybe. I don't know if that'll help a little bit, possibly.
Okay.
Part two.
Is that better?
Same situation, however, we're doing it the way we're supposed to do.
Still about the same, but that's all right.
No control, no control. Out of bounds. Tell me. Back to the center. Left. Oh, yep. You got a question? Green. Go to your corner. Red. Go to your corner. Why did I tell the wrestlers to go to their corners? Because I'm alone. I do not know what's going to be happening behind my back. So I send them to their corners. Yeah, Coach.
Coach, I think that was two again on the line. Why was I not a call?
Oh, that wasn't a call, Coach, because there was no control. Before control happened, we went out of bounds, and so back to neutral.
I don't think so, Coach. I think that was just.
Okay, I'm glad for your opinion, but you questioned my call, and that wasn't to, so we're going to continue wrestling. At this point, we have red questioning judgment. Go. All right, guys, come back here. Good. So, you explain whatever you need to explain to the coach. You let him know what's happening according to the rules. Don't bring in your own ideas of why it's not a takedown. Just use the rules to your advantage by explaining what happened.
Okay. Any questions here before I speak? No, everybody's silent. Okay. The reason I wanted to have people ask questions was because there are some times that officials will leave the two guys in the center. And when they go to the table, they'll turn their backs. It's my experience and just mine alone that when I start talking to a coach, I can't be trying to pay attention to the coach and trying to pay attention to the wrestlers at the same time. Ironically enough, they tend to migrate over to their corners anyway. So in the event that that's going to happen anyway, I don't want to penalize them. I just send them to their corners. That way, I'm only paying attention to the coach. Again, it's your call, guys. It's just one way of doing it. it's a lot cleaner for me.
Hey, Angel, with a two-man mechanic there, obviously they would stay in the middle, or if
Yes.
there's officials sitting at the table, that would come out and you would keep them in the middle then, correct?
That is correct. So one of the things that we wrote at the bottom was that with the second official, you keep them in the center. That is correct. And you're right, with officials outside, the mat sitting down, they can also come in and help out when that occurs. Okay, here we go. So this is injury timeout.
Okay, this is injury time. I'm going to go through the proper procedure of handling injury time. Skylar here is going to be the injured party. Logan is kind of going to go off the picture. Ben is the trainer, and Amir is the head coach. We're going to go through the proper techniques of what happens injury time. Oh. Stop. We have Red being injured. I am going to call medical. Medical has arrived at the scene. That's where I start injury time. I do not start it before then. Okay? If you see, Amir is standing over there. He's the coach. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to allow medical to take care of the situation. Okay? So Amir's supposed to be there. Trainer's supposed to be here. And that's it.
Hey guys, if you notice, the wrestler asked for injury timeout. I've seen this in a couple of situations and I'm baffled. When a wrestler asks for injury timeout, you are asking for trouble if you do not grant him his injury timeout. You're going to find yourself in court if you don't. So if you see that, it doesn't matter what's happening. Again, use your judgment, right? But if a wrestler is asking for injury timeout, you need to grant it to him. Also, if the trainer wants to take injury timeout or a concussion call, you need to grant that. Okay, if you don't, they know the wrestlers more than you do. I'll give you an example. This weekend I was at Penn State and I was continuously asking the gentleman if he wanted an injury timeout. And it was the type of kid, again, explained to me by the coach, that this kid will not take injury timeout. And they took it upon themselves to call injury timeout. And sure enough, they were looking for a concussion.
This is injury part 2. So now we have a situation where I am going to call the medical over, and what's going to happen is the coach is going to come follow him. And the conversation that I'm going to have with the coach, because according to the rule, only medical is supposed to be present at injury time. Unless, wait for part 3 on that. We got injury red. Green goes to his corner. Oh, coach, let the medical take care of it, and then you can talk to him later on, okay? Thank you. Medical is taking care of it. I've told the coach what the rule is. He's complied. He goes back to his corner.
Anybody know what I missed other than Craig, who's seen these videos already?
To start the injury time.
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't see you call for injury once the trainer arrived to the wrestler.
Very good. Very good.
We have part 3. Part 3 is pretty serious. We have an injury timeout as well. And again, I'm going to call medical, but this time we have a serious injury, and Red Wrestler is not going to be comfortable. He needs some support, and that's where the coach is allowed to come in. So allow the coach to come in, but again, they're not allowed to coach. He's there for support, to calm him down, make sure that he's okay. You got injury. Come here, guys. Start injury time. Now, again, this is a serious injury. Coach is taking care of him. He's not coaching. This is allowed.
Anybody have any questions? I have a question from Kevin Lenich. Says, where in the rules book does it say the coach is not permitted on the mat during injury time? It only says they cannot coach. If you look, assisting, I'm going by memory here, assisting with coaches, the coaches cannot be present when the trainer is attending to the injured wrestler. However, so I did get some clarification from Tim. He would want you to have the coach, if it's not a serious injury, to stay away and let the trainer take care of the injury. And that's the whole purpose.
And Angel, that'd probably help with, not having any situation possibly where they may be coaching or anything like that, and a perception too as well, probably. Correct?
That is correct, because when an injury timeout is happening, if you saw my distance, you want to keep that distance. That's not your business. They will let you know when the injury time is over, and kind of when it gets to a minute or even 45 seconds or whatever, I tend to tell them, hey, I need you guys to tell me when injury time is over. And usually, the majority of the time, they'll tell me right away, right? Otherwise, they'll just continue handling the injury. So a lot of clean stuff. And again, I got that backed up by Tim last night just to make sure that these videos were proper. I've always done that in the past. I know that we had a video of some sort in one of the training videos that we have seen. And I remember that I did this to some high-ranking coaches to send them back, and they did comply. Surprisingly, they did comply. So again, things that you should know probably. It gets a lot cleaner when you do it on the mat. It just looks pretty well when officials are not talking to each other when there's injury timeout or blood timeout, when you should be probably attending to your duties as an official, watching what's going on, right? That's a bad look as well. When there's a two-man mechanic and the two guys are just cracking up while there's an injury time taking place. Any other questions, guys?
What would be your procedure or verbiage if a coach did start coaching, if you allowed him to come onto the mat?
Very good. Very good question. I would just gently tell the coach that I would remind him of the rule that he cannot coach. And then it's up to you as an official, if he continues to coach, and to call control of that area.
Do you have a particular protocol once you get the guys back into the center or start wrestling again?
As you saw, I'll be next to the injured or bleeding wrestler at all times. And as soon as I start going, I call him over to the center. I'm going to run with him or beat him to the center so that I can start telling the opponent to come back to the center as well. I will talk to the opponent from the middle of the mat rather than going to him myself. And if it's a two-man mechanic, as soon as the second official sees me coming, we're going. Anything that, any other questions? I'm looking for them. Nothing? Okay. Well, hey, again, this is pretty quick. There was only 6 or 7 videos today. We'll do some more next week, and tune in. If I can have Bart and Craig stay behind, we need to talk about a little business.
And everybody, Bart did a great job. These videos are on YouTube under a mechanics playlist, and Bart links them to the MSWA website. So if you want to watch them without the skipping or anything like that, they're available up there.
Hey, Craig, for those who have missed it, how can they get the recorded version?
So just like last week, I'm going to send out the recorded version of this meeting, and then to the entire paid membership. I'll also include the links to the YouTube playlist that features all. I think we're up to 12 or 13 total videos now.
Yep. Okay. Well, guys, good luck this weekend. Call me with any questions. I'll be more than happy to have that discussion with you. Send me videos or whatever needs to be sent so we can have that discussion as well. And thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Angel.
Thanks for doing this, guys.
Yes, sir.